Welcome again to Light Your World. So, this is a platform where we share light and edifying conversations happen. So, the topic we have to discuss actually is Deuteronomy chapter 6 from verse 5 to 9, and it actually talks about God's word. And the reason why I want us to discuss about this thing is because of the command he gave, right? And then if you read it, you can read so that it will be more clear.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 from verse 5.
All right.
You shall love the Lord your God
Okay.
with all your heart,
1,
with all your soul, and
2.
with all your strength.
Okay, so let's start from there first. From that verse 5, loving the Lord your God with all your heart. What does it mean? With all your soul. What does it mean? And with all your strength. What does it really mean to love the Lord with all your heart? I think it has to do with putting all at the table, not reserving anything. Because this issue of the heart is, the Bible says that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So many issues comes from the heart, or is it not what it really means? When people begin to commit themselves wholeheartedly, that Lord, I trust you with all my heart for you to, those kind of things are when people make commitments. And when people say that, babe, I love you with all my heart, what they're trying to say is that I don't have any reserve, I don't have anybody, and there is no cockroach in the wardrobe. You get me? So, and this is a command that was given to Moses, that is telling them that you must love the Lord with all your heart, and you must love the Lord with all your soul. And the soul is actually where the bargain takes place. The Bible talks about what can a man give in exchange for his soul? That if a man gains the whole world and loses his soul, because that's the one that actually goes back to God. You get me now? So when it now talks about your strength, I think the strength issue is when it has to do with everything that gives you confidence. It might be wealth. You get? So you must serve God and you must love God with everything that gives you confidence. It might be your intelligence, it might be your beauty, it might be any area of your strength, it might be your talent. You must love God with that thing. That means that thing that you have. I'm a computer graduate, and I think that most of the things that I do, I design, I try to allow God to find expression in that skill that He has given me the ability to gain. Do you understand me now? So the Bible now talks about the verses, and what does it say?
And these words which I command you today shall be in your heart.
It shall be in your heart, because that's the reservoir. That is where everything takes place. Like I just said earlier, that from the abundance of the heart, that is where every decision is being made. That this word shall dwell in your heart. You get me now? So the challenge is that if you read the parable, there was a parable that Jesus was talking about in Matthew when he talks about the seed sower. That even the devil has the capacity to go and steal the word that the sower sowed into the people's heart. He was talking about people that were consigned. He said when he sows the word, that the enemy come and takes the word and steals the word from their hearts. You get me now? So there is this word that a man must retain, right? That it shall be in your heart. You store it. The same way people take time to store. Have you not seen people storing jewels? Especially ladies. You guys now, you store a lot of things in a package and you don't let anything go there. I think that's women's treasure. Their earrings, all of this. They have a safe place. And even guys mostly store their money in the bank. They have a place. They call it safe. People store whatever thing they treasure somewhere. So, but God's word cannot stored in the library like we have here. God's word is meant to be stored in our hearts. So that anytime challenges comes, it is what is in your heart that will speak, not what's in your head. What is in your head will always fly out. It is what is in your heart that will respond. And this is why He tells us to be intentional about storing God's word in our hearts. Right? And then what does verse 7 now say?
You shall teach them diligently to your children.
Right? Wait. This is where the teaching comes in. Why is He giving the responsibility of teaching to parents, to children? Teaching your children. Because this is a law He gave them laws Then he was giving them those laws, and Moses was telling them, this thing I'm teaching you, you should also teach them to your children. It means that a parent is the first pastor to their children, that for you to raise a godly children, you must be able to be a good pastor over your house. If you cannot be able to teach your children the ways of God, it means that the society will teach them something else, and you will lose them. The challenge is that most families leave the responsibility of teaching their children God's word to just church, and church could not do so much, because they know that most times the real formation age of children is in the family, and the God that leaves the responsibility. And he was talking about Abraham. He said, I know Abraham that he will teach his children and his children my ways, my rules, my laws, right? Yeah. He now said you should be able to teach them diligently. That is a word, diligent. If you browse the word diligent, it's something that is very intentional. You teach them these things diligently to your children, and then what again?
And shall talk to them when you sit in your house.
When you sit in your house, as we are sitting, you sit in your house, you talk about God's word. It's not just, when you go to families, what really happens? What really happens when you go to families? You see that they occupy themselves with talking about so many things, either social media. Even now, you see the mother browsing, you see the father browsing. They never for once intentionally raise the issue of talking about God's word, because everybody is minding their business. So they engage children with games. Yeah. They engage children with the school. Even know how to engage children, that when they are leaving for their home, when they are leaving school, they give them an assignment called homework. So the school know how to engage them, that they come back, they still have time to do what the word circulates as, what the word designed as a syllable, a curriculum, that these children don't give them space. When they go home, they don't need to be idle. Give them homework. You understand me now? But when we sit at home, we never give our children homework with regards to biblical teachings. Are you understanding the challenge now? So you now see that if we are not intentional, which is talking about diligently, you should actually, when you sit in your house, and then when you walk by the way. How does it mean when you even walk by the way? Probably you are walking on the way, now you see people quarreling, and your children also saw that scene too. And you begin to use that opportunity to begin to teach them. You see this thing, don't copy it. Somebody says something wrong, you say this thing is not the right way. You begin to guide them even when you are walking on the way. Every opportunity comes for teaching. You begin to see something wrong, you say this thing is something to emulate. When they walk on the way, they see an elder, you say greet. You teach them obedience, you teach them honor. All of those things are the things that adds up in their building, right? Yeah. Because this is what the form of the why we were raised well as children. Our parents, you can't see an elder and you will not get up. All of those things are the things that you teach: honor, respect, obedience, right? So you teach them all of these things when you are walking on the way. Even when you lie down, you teach them how to pray. They see you when you pray. They see you when you consult God. They see you when you praise. They see you when you worship. And children are good emulators. They emulate you, they follow up with you by what you do, not necessarily what you say. Even your very walking step, children even emulate it. In verse 8, which I was stopping there, he says, "Shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets before your eyes." So what we are trying to say is that we should be able to make sure that God's training of children and God's word and everything that pertains to Christian training find expression in the house. So what I'm trying to say, that as you sit in your house, you should reprioritize things and allow God to find first place in your family, in your life. And I think this is something that I tell you that they are defined. There are things that you can't trade. You can't trade God for anything. What people inherit is not just physical wealth. You understand me? What people inherit is God, is the values that you transfer to your children. If you don't give your children values, the wealth that you leave for them, they will sell it off. They will live like vagabonds. And I pray that you have God give us understanding so that we can be able to walk in this light. God bless you. Go and share your light.